Joining us now, reporter Jane Velez-Mitchell, whose new book is called Secrets Can Be Murder: What America's Most Sensational Crimes Tell Us About Ourselves. You know, we have a nation of 300 million Americans, and proportionally, we don't have a lot of these crimes. But, you know, when we do have a young lady going to a Target store, and we have her on video, we'll show that little video in a minute, and some guy just... And this guy who's charged as a child and a wife, you know, he's like white bread guy, and we're all going, what is that? What
is going on,
right.
Bill? We have a right to ask. I mean, a 26-year-old guy married with a small kid. Now, we understand he did have some money troubles. Often that can be a stressor or a trigger. But the bigger question, obviously, is why is this happening in society to even one girl? And the answer is, sadly, we are creating in our society with the media, the movies, and the television today, a hunter-prey relationship between men and women. Men are the hunters, women are the prey, and it's in movies, and it has to stop or this violence will get worse.
But it has always been that way throughout history, that men have been physically stronger than women, and cowardly, psychopathic men then take it out on women. What has changed? Now, you say movies, media, television, all of that. What message are the media sending to heighten the danger here?
It's classical conditioning. Back in the Victorian era, a man could be turned on sexually by the sight of a woman's ankle. Today, that wouldn't happen unless he had a fetish for a woman's ankle. So what are men being conditioned to be turned on by? Sadistic sexual violence.
And where does that come from?
Hollywood. It comes from Hollywood. Right now, there's a new genre. But it's all
R-rated, though, right?
No, but kids are getting in. Teenage boys, impressionable teenage boys, are getting in to see these, and they're taking their girlfriends on date night. I mean, this is a...
You're talking about the torture movies and things like this?
Bill, do you know there's a new genre now? It's called Gorno. It's porno plus gore equals Gorno, and that's the latest wave hitting Hollywood.
We've done some reporting on it, but you know, I'm saying to myself that most American families and parents keep their kids away from this stuff.
You know, that's what we think, but it's really not true. If you've got access to cable, take a remote and just click through and see how long it takes you to come up with a scenario where a guy with a gun or some instrument of torture is chasing after a woman in some state of distress. It'll take you about 5 or 6 seconds. You don't see a lot of male-on-male sexually charged violence. I mean, Pulp Fiction and Deliverance were the last two that I can think of, and those created an uproar. But when it comes to male-on-female violence, it is accepted as business as usual in this country. And that's the first thing that we, especially as women, have to do is say, we will not tolerate it anymore.
Well, you have a good point. Women should say to Hollywood, look, by putting this stuff out there, you're triggering the psychotics.
Exactly.
You know, this guy in Kansas, I mean, this guy, if he did it, has to be, you know, he has to be an unstable, psychotic guy who snaps or whatever. But look at him. I mean, he looks like a guy you would see in a Target and wouldn't have any problem. Now, what about the children? You know, we've done a lot of Jessica's Law reporting here. We've done great strides here. Now, this case in Connecticut is murky. This could have been a runaway. We don't. But what about the crimes against children? What's driving that?
Once again, it's a hunter-prey mentality. And these men who have reverted to primitive savages will go after the easiest prey. What's the easiest prey? A child, a 14-year-old, especially one who has a history. Do you think it's worse now in 2007 than it was in 1957? Yes, I do, because I think the crimes are getting increasingly gruesome. If you look at what happened to Ahmet Sankian, where her head was wrapped in packing tape, horribly sadistic crimes. We've got to say no, and the first thing we have to do is imagine a world without male-on-female violence. That's the first step.
Jane Velez-Mitchell, the book is Secrets Can Be Murder: What America's Most Sensational Crimes Tell Us About Ourselves. Very interesting book.